Have you ever eaten a meal and instantly regretted it because your belly felt tight, heavy, and really bloated? I know that feeling all too well. It's uncomfortable, frustrating, and honestly, it's a little embarrassing. Now, just a few weeks ago, my stomach felt hard like a rock. It was like my food was just sitting there, not moving. And to make matters worse, I was barely going to the bathroom. And when I did, just pebbles. And there I was trying to record a video, hoping it wouldn't show on camera. Now, if you're a woman over 40 and bloating has become your daily normal, you need to hear this. Because today I'm breaking down the exact natural strategy I use to finally feel relief. And trust me, you're going to want to stick to the end. Now, this whole problem started when I reintroduced eggs into my diet. Now, I hadn't eaten eggs in a really long time. I am talking about years. So when I began to eat them, I felt a difference in my stomach. But I didn't stop eating them immediately. Part of me was really hoping my body just needed some time to readapt. However, over time, the issue just worsened. Whenever I had eggs, I would experience bloating and a heavy, really uncomfortable feeling after my meals. And so why I start here is that I wanted to emphasize building body awareness is really foundational when addressing digestive symptoms like bloating, gas, or irregular bowel movement. Why is that? Because there's no one-size-fits-all solution. A food that is perfectly fine for one person can trigger inflammation, discomfort, or gut disruption in someone else. Now, that is precisely the challenge I was facing. I had to work through with my coach, learning to really listen to my body and connect the dots between what I ate and how I felt. So if you're dealing with persistent bloating, even while eating healthy foods, just know you're not alone. Bloating is often your body's way of saying something is not working right here. And the truth is, it could stem from a variety of hidden issues like food sensitivities or intolerances and unbalanced gut microbiome, low stomach acid or digestive enzyme deficiencies, and also chronic stress that disrupt your gut-brain connection. That's why starting with like a short-term elimination diet protocol could be a really good idea. Now, the aim of this is not to impose like a permanent restriction, but just to allow your body to reset. You are focusing on removing common triggers like gluten, dairy, soya, eggs, added sugars, grain, alcohol, and processed oil. This gives your body the space to heal and allows symptoms to subside. Now here is where it gets interesting, the reintroduction phase. So once your symptoms begin to improve and the bloating starts to subside, it's time to reintroduce foods one at a time in a structured way. Now this is where you discover what your body truly tolerates and what it doesn't. So let's talk a bit about this phase. Reintroducing food is about testing and observing. So what you want to do is wait like 2 to 4 weeks after eliminating the food before reintroducing them. Just choose one food first to test. Ideally, something you less suspect is causing issues. Start with a small portion first thing in the morning, ideally on an empty stomach. Then you just need to monitor for symptoms over the next 3 to 5 days. Track symptoms like headache, bloating, skin flare-ups, fatigue, or mood shifts. Now, if you don't get any reaction, try a slightly larger serving later that day or the next. Now, if you did have some symptoms, remove the food again and just try to reintroduce it like 4 to 6 weeks after while you provide additional support for your gut. Then you just repeat that cycle with the next item on your list. So the idea of this slow, steady process is to give you real data about how your body responds. The goal really is to create a personalized diet plan that works for you. Because it doesn't make sense continuing to eat something that is affecting you without trying to address the issue. So you may find that you can tolerate some foods in smaller portions or in a specific form like fermented dairy versus milk, or only when your gut is in a better place. And so that's what makes this whole process so empowering. It helps you develop a way of eating that is both sustainable and support your unique body. But what I would add is that testing and getting expert guidance from a functional practitioner can help you better discover your hidden triggers, such as food intolerance, low stomach acid, or imbalances in your gut microbiome. So I want to re-emphasize this point again. The idea of this whole process is to really understand what's happening internally so you can make better choices as opposed to tolerating your symptoms. So I want to spend a little time talking about the difference between allergies, sensitivities, and intolerance, because I know a lot of times we use them interchangeably. So here's a simple breakdown. A food allergy is really a strong, fast reaction that usually happens within minutes to a couple of hours of consuming a particular food. Now, this process involves your immune system going into overdrive, and it can be serious or life-threatening. The symptoms can include swelling in the lips or throat, trouble breathing, skin rashes, vomiting, diarrhea, or fast heart rate. Now, a food sensitivity also involves your immune system, but the reaction is a lot slower. So sometimes symptoms will show up within hours or even days later, and that's what makes it harder to catch. So you may experience symptoms like bloating, fatigue, brain fog, skin breakouts, joint pains, or mood changes. So this is just something to note when you reintroduce, say for example, nuts. You might not necessarily feel the effects till days later, and that delay can make it harder to tell what actually caused the problem. So that's why it's important to space out food reintroduction and keep track of your symptoms so you can better connect the dots. Now the last one, food intolerance. This doesn't involve your immune system. It usually means your body cannot digest something properly, often because you're missing the enzymes needed to break it down. So a classic example, lactose intolerance, when your body cannot digest the sugar in milk. So common signs of food intolerance includes gas, bloating, stomach cramps, loose stool, diarrhea, and usually these symptoms will show up soon after you eat the food. And the more you eat it, the worse it tends to feel. So just remember those key points when you go through the reintroduction phase. So when I started struggling with persistent bloating, even while eating properly, I realized just how important it is to build body awareness and really tune into how I felt after my meals. This is so key. Learning to recognize my unique food triggers make it a lot easier to discover the root cause of my discomfort and then build a plan that works for my body during this season of my life. And what I always like to remind you, your body has incredible healing powers. Sometimes it just needs the right kind of support to function the way it was designed. And that's exactly how I was able to address my bloating naturally. So now that you understand the power of awareness and how to identify your own food triggers, the next natural step is to learn how to support your digestion moving forward. So in my next video, I will walk you through some of my simple practical strategies I use to achieve that, because removing the food that is causing you problem is just the beginning. So if your waistline is over 35 inches and you are finally ready to take action, now is the time. I want to encourage you to grab my free guide, Get Back in the Driver's Seat. It's packed with simple, doable strategies to help you reclaim your energy, focus, and health. So click the link below and start taking back control, one choice at a time.